was found upon a field and cast aside like a bad seed. It lay beside another stone, and another till a wall had grown. This land is cut with these stone walls. They are not thick, they are not tall. Yet we pick a side and build our homes, where we keep the young ones till they're grown. These stones are hard, these stones are cold. They bind the mind and crush the soul. An open field can open hearts. It's time to tear the walls apart. A rock was found upon a field and cast into a rushing stream. It lay beside another stone, and another till a bridge had grown. Girlhood days are done. Now she'll never feel the summer rains till they're running underground. Never see a winter sun, and never question how the likes of her abound. Bound before her birth, father paid to tie the family, worked them half to death at the De Level mines, and she carried coals and climbed up the stairs and down the ladder, shifting more than 15 ton afore she was 9. Girlhood days are done. Now she'll never feel the summer rains till they're running underground. Never see a winter sun, and never question how the likes of her abound. Darker than the nights were the days that she endured. She never learned to write, but she kept out her songs, and the hours were long and dreary, breathing in the foul carbolic, wishing for a lad to come and take her in his arms. Married for her strength, more than for her passing beauty, wrought with him the length of the dark dusty seams. For a man must have a wife to carry creels and red the coals, and raise the bonnet bairnies that will haunt her dreams. Girlhood days are done. Now she'll never feel the summer rains till they're running underground. Never see a winter sun, and never question how the likes of her abound. Since her man had passed, Still she had to work her seams and leave the youngest bairns by the dark stove sides. And she'd give the babe the breast, cold stove tatties to the rest. Starts the oldest lassie working by her side. Days are done, now she'll never feel the summer rain till it's running underground. Never see a winter sun, and never question how the likes of her abound. Girl, her days are done, now she'll never feel the summer rain till it's running underground. Never see a winter sun, and never question how the likes of her abound. Fare thee well, my own true love. Farewell for a while, I'm going away, but I'll return if I go 10,000 miles. 10,000 miles, my own true love. 10,000 miles or more, and rocks may melt and seas may burn if I no more return, my love, if I no more return. Oh, can't you see yon lonesome dove sitting on yon ivy tree? She's weeping for her own true love, as I do weep for mine. Oh, come back, my own true love, please stay with me, for if I had one friend all through my life, then you'd be that friend to me, my dear, you'd be that friend to me. Oh, come back, my old true love, please stay with me, for if I had one love all through my life, then you'd be that love to me, my dear, you'd be that love to me. To me. Once upon a time I found a garden, picked the brightest things that I could see, an apron full of Mr. Harding's flowers. I did not know that he was watching me. Straight away my mother ran to tell him. I wondered what he might say or do. Mr. Harding smiled, he said, "She's just a little child. I knew that she'd be picking them for you." By the fire my doll would tell me stories. One of them concerned a garden too, where the lions and the lambs lay down together, and every lovely fruit and flower grew. The gardener sent his children in to play there, rejoicing in the brightness of the days. But as they went exploring and took a fruit to taste, he cursed them both and sent them on their way. Even then I realized in my childish mind, he was not a proper gardener of the Mr. Harding kind. Gardner sent his children in to play there, rejoicing in the brightness of the days. But as they went exploring and took a fruit to taste, he cursed them both and sent them on their way. Even then I realized in my childish mind, he was not a proper gardener of the Mr. Harding kind. Mr. Harding's gardens were all taken by lesser men with concrete on their minds. The factory towers grew instead of daisies. No butterflies from that assembly line. My mother faded faster than the flowers. My father in the darkness sat and cried. Mr. Harding moves a little slower than before, but still he tends the graves where they both lie. And where they may have gone to, I pray that they will find a proper sort of gardener of the Mr. Harding kind. Like stones on land, the faces of loved ones stayed firm in their minds. and they strained to hear as voices called out while they sailed from their sight. And lo, in the wake of the ship that was leaving stood a family now shattered and battered and scarred, for their loved ones were off on a ship bound for Brooklyn, with the rest to remain back in old Castle Bar. From a sea of fear their comfort came, knowing so many before had left loved ones dear to search out a life on American shores. And the sight of the moon hanging low over Brooklyn, well, it seemed like a dear friend from old Castle Bar, still recalling its light on the bogs and the pastures, while here in New York shone on concrete and tar. The sight of the moon hanging low over Brooklyn, well, it seemed like a dear friend from old Castle Bar, recalling its light on the bogs and the pastures, while here in New York shone on concrete and tar. As the years wait on and families gather, they're old and they're young, you can still feel loss at names never spoken on tips of their tongues, though their journeys are long, full years in the making. Well, their tender young souls never traveled that far, while their feet found their way to the paved streets of Brooklyn. Their immigrant hearts never left Castle Bar. You showed up on our doorstep with your bags and brats in tow. Overstayed your welcome by 400 years or more, you know. We asked you nice to leave us be, paid with life to live it free. If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? We bled for it and died for it, we thought we made it clear. Is it simply you're not listening? Is it just that you can't hear? If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? You pushed up to our table and you drove us from our land. Recut the pie to suit you, hung the ones that dared to stand. Connolly, Pearson, Sands, to name a few who rose to curse your claim. If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? We bled for it and died for it, we thought we made it clear. Is it simply you're not listening? Is it just that you can't hear? If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? Don't you know the modern world ignores all that you do? They bite their tongues and turn their gaze away from what is true. You settled in and made it home while we were starved and forced to roam. Since I got you on the phone, tell me why you're here. If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? We bled for it and died for it, we thought we made it clear. Is it simply that you're stupid? Is it just that you can't hear? If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? Don't you know the modern world ignores all that you do? They bite their tongues and turn their gaze away from what is true. You settled in and made it home while we were starved and forced to roam. We won't rest until you're gone. Tell us why you're here. If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? We bled for it and died for it, we thought we made it clear. Is it simply that you're stupid? Is it just that you can't hear? If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here? If you haven't an invitation, tell me, why are you still here?